You do not need a romantic partner. Okay. A lot of people on my live streams have been telling me, oh, uh, you'll never get a woman and all this. Somebody said, how are you gonna, impress a woman? I'm like, who's a woman? Who is this? I'm like, yo, you do not need, a partner or a romantic relationship, to validate your existence. And I think this is a cultural thing. The United States has this culture of romanticizing these monogamous relationships, these true love stories. We hear all these love songs. We see all these movies about true love and all this. And, me, myself, I was raised in a very, conservative Christian environment where basically it's seen as, oh, as a man, you're supposed to go out and get a wife and start a family and provide for them, but one thing I wanted to emphasize is I think this culture, feeds into the misogyny and the expectation of men, to have a woman, or to have a woman, and this, it's misogynistic, and it's not the only reason, but it's one of the things that feeds into, this expectation of men on women, and also, some of the reason is cultural pressure for a man to, feel more complete by having a woman, and, I think that we need to shift the cultural perspective and talk about this as men, because I think even, violence against women and stuff like this is because of this patriarchal culture we have, where men have these expectations that they should have a woman and that the woman should be subservient to them and all this, which, am in opposition to. I want to be part of the men who are trying to change this, so, like I said, you do not need a partner or a romantic relationship in your life. And, it's scientifically proven, like, you have a certain amount of peace, happiness you can feel, as an emotion. And our culture tries to subtly tell you that, and even will directly tell you in some instances. Like, I was raised in this Christian conservative environment where a relationship with a man and a woman is a lot of times seen, and in other cultures, as the quintessential, I don't know if I use that word correctly, but the peak experience and feeling, and, that anyone can have on this earth, that finding true love and a romantic monogamous partner is the greatest joy you can have in life, and, scientifically we know we have a certain amount of, and endorphins and dopamine receptors, and, we know that we can actually feel the same amount of joy and peace and happiness, that somebody may find in a romantic relationship in a creative endeavor. I was just talking on my live stream about this, telling people, like, there's a lot of people who we even honor in history, great creative, artists, writers, intellectuals, inventors, who didn't prioritize having a romantic relationship as their peak form of experience or happiness, and even described how much, joy they felt towards their pursuits, their creative pursuits, and I think we should always to try to, ideologically combat this idea that's still prevalent in our society and a lot of people's minds, especially young people who are raised in these conservative environments, that you need a partner and that this is the peak experience and that you need someone to be whole, it's really harmful to people who, the fact that there's a lot of people who will never find a partner, and there's a lot of reasons, why there's a lot of people who just won't have that relationship. And when we as a society make it seem like that's the most important thing, then, you're basically saying that those people are never gonna be happy, which isn't true. You can find happiness in creative pursuits and, other things that make you feel whole, like, being an athlete, things like that. And you will 100% still feel that same happiness. You're not going to feel a different or higher form of happiness from having a romantic partner versus doing something creative. You can feel that same happiness because we have a certain capacity for enjoyment and happiness and peace, as biological beings. And there's not only one way to attain it. It's not only found by having a monogamous relationship, and it's evident throughout history. We have very great examples, like I said, of creative people in history. And in my life, I've come to the point where I'm not, besides just not, judging myself and my value based on if I have a partner or not. I'm not especially or specifically looking for a partner. I'm not focused on that. Sometimes I would like to be aromantic or asexual, but, meaning you're not looking for anything like that. That's how I feel most of the time. But, I'm still open, but at the same time, that's not anything that I'm worried about or, that I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on writing and contributing ideologically with writing theory and making content, to bring the masses towards socialism. That's my main goal. So, yeah. So thank you anyone who's watched this. God bless you. You don't need a partner, and you can feel that same level of happiness without a partner.